Happy Fragrant Friday, Fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at thatcologneguy, coming at you with a new review. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Happy Fragrant Friday to you, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you're in the U.S., happy Thanksgiving, belated by a couple of minutes, but happy Thanksgiving. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope you have a safe Black Friday, a day in which Americans, for no apparent reason, just have the tradition of going out and spending way too much money on Christmas gifts. So I hope you do find a lot of what you're looking for and have a safe Black Friday. You've seen the title and the description, so just like last week, apparently I'm in the mood to celebrate 2005 because we are going to party like it's 2005 all over again, because this week I'm checking out L'air du désert marocain by Andy Tauer, or Tauer Perfumes. So this is a 2005 release, of course, and so this episode marks, this is a special moment because this episode marks the 20th anniversary of this release. Andy Tauer is from Switzerland. He is an independent parfumier. He's very different from the industry, right? Because he is an independent parfumier. He has a background in chemistry from Zurich, Switzerland, and he, to my knowledge, I think this is the one that got him big because he made it pretty big. And over the years, I've just seen him do so many interviews. He just seems like an extremely approachable, friendly, knowledgeable, obviously, guy. So kudos to him for making it big in an industry that typically hires parfumers or noses and puts them on contract, so that way they put out a specific release. He is different, he is independent, and he always has, I think, to my knowledge, the same shape for all of his bottles. So that's kind of cool. Maybe that has changed recently, though. So this one is L'air du désert marocain, and this one's French for the air from the Moroccan desert. Air of or from the Moroccan desert. L'air du désert marocain. And that one is Morocco. So this one is the air from a Moroccan desert. Do you have this one? Let me know your thoughts. This one is another one that's like a 4.39, 4.4 on Fragrantica rating. That's very, very, very high for you guys. So this one is super, super popular amongst frag heads. This one is another one sent in by the man, not the myth, Dr. Goo over at Locked Scents. He sent this one in as part of a package that I'm reviewing over the next few months. Really enjoying that. This is another one though. I didn't request all of them, but I did make a specific request for about, I think maybe 5 or 6, and this is one of those of the 20. I specifically wanted to try this one because this one is an oriental spicy. I typically like these kind of potpourri-ish, if you will allow that, fragrances. This one really has a lot of pop to it with the spices. And so I typically gravitate toward it. And because it was so unique with an independent parfumer, I wanted to give it a try. So 2005 release, oriental spicy. And let's get into some of the notes. As always, go to Fragrantica if you'd like to see all of them, but I just point out the few notes that I was able to tease out from this. In the top, you definitely get coriander and cumin or cumin. As I said before, you can say the one American English typically prefers cumin, and the other dialects will say cumin. Either one, you can definitely pick out both of those in this. In fact, you could almost make an argument it could be called air from an Indian market. I'll get to that in just a second. In the top notes, I got coriander and cumin, and then you definitely get birch, which is another favorite note of mine. This one is a burnt birch feel to it, and then I did pick out jasmine as well in the mid. In the base, cedar, vetiver, patchouli, and oak moss. And again, if I had to say, the birch does have a burnt quality to it. So here's the deal. That's why I mentioned an Indian market earlier. My only thing with the name is I actually think instead of this one really has market written all over it, right? So I should have looked up market in French, like marquette, but it really should be called Air from a Moroccan Market, to be honest with you, instead of desert. Because to me, a desert doesn't necessarily have coriander and cumin in it. That's my only beef. That's my only issue, really, with this fragrance in terms of the name and notes. I do feel like this really has a very strong element of being in a market. I have not been to Morocco, but I have been to many markets that have tons and tons of spices, and this one definitely evokes that. And with the burnt quality of the birch, it also has kind of a tobacco-ish, or like some sort of, smoke mixed with a lot of spice. It has a very opulent, burnt, spicy market feel, and that's my only real complaint, is that I feel like the name doesn't reflect that. When I think of desert, I don't really think of the notes that I mentioned. Nitpicky as always, of course. Now, let's get to the good news when it comes to longevity, projection, and sillage. This is great. This one did phenomenal. In fact, I had to be outside a lot this week, and actually the weather was, by and large, pretty nice out. And even after being outside for quite some time and coming back indoors, this held strong. So that one is definitely kudos to this fragrance when it came to longevity, projection, and sillage. Longevity was, a good solid 8 to 11 hours, easily a work shift. Not even a close call there. Projection will be 3 feet or 1 meter from the body. You're looking at a rock solid 7 to 8 hours. Performed great. And then as far as the sillage, scent bubble or scent trail, walking past people, you will get noticed, and you will get compliments and comments on this particular fragrance. It is slightly, I'm not going to say disappointed, because I'm not, but I will say that I thought it was going to be a little bit more up my alley than it really is. I like it. It's solid. It's just that it has a little bit more of a medicinal element, and I think that might be the lavender. I couldn't pick that out, though, from the top. That's why I didn't mention it. But it does have lavender in the top. I'm just trying to think. It has petitgrain. I'm not familiar really with that note that much, so it might be that. But it has kind of a medicine mixed with spice, mixed with a burnt element to it, and I could have done without the medicine feel to it. Somebody online said that he smelled like soda pop in it to it, and I think that's what he's getting at, kind of this medicine or almost like a like a cough medicine / perhaps you could get me into like a soda pop, if like a Dr. Pepper kind of smell. You do get that, especially in the initial blast, and then it subsides. I was a little bit disappointed with that. But other than that, it's a 20th anniversary for a classic, a fragrance to put the guy on the map. So it speaks for that. But I just wanted to mention a couple of the things that took me aback. So that's the longevity, projection, and sillage, all great without the shadow of a doubt. When it comes to gender, this one to me is masculine leaning. And I do feel that you would, as far as, I'm going to do what I did last week, actually. I'm going to do a 66-34 split, meaning I think people who own it, who wear it as their signature scent, will be 66%. I think with the birch and the burnt quality and the patchouli and the oak moss, actually I'm going to go up, I'm going to bump it. I'm going to say 80-20, actually, because cedar, vetiver, patchouli, oak moss, these are more masculine associated notes. So in terms of how the market actually plays out, as I said, that's why I always say that, because somebody might be given something, but it's different. If they wanted it, it's their signature scent. They sought it out. They bought it. I think you're going to see 80-20, actually, 80% being men and 20% being women. It starts off with coriander, the cumin. There's nothing really there. The cumin. There's nothing really there, but jasmine, lavender. You see my point? A woman could definitely pull this off, but I think in actuality you will see more men wearing this, and I'll go 80-20 on the split. I think this is a bit mature of a fragrance. Birch tends to do that, actually, for me. Kind of convinces me. And then when you get into vetiver, patchouli, and oak moss especially, you're really getting into a mature scent. So I don't see guys, too many of the club and bros out in their 20s rocking this. I definitely see a 40 and up, but that's not to suggest that it is an old man fragrance whatsoever, because it's not. It's just another one of those like quite confident, established in your field type fragrances that I seem to have been gravitating towards recently, because I've been saying that. But it is one of those. So I'm going to go 40 and up. You could perhaps convince me 35 and up, but I wouldn't go any younger in terms of what you would expect the target audience to be. This is a man's man fragrance, right? This is a gentleman's fragrance. So 35 and up, if you are going to force me to do that. This one, season-wise, is clearly a fall-winter. Actually, I have a little bit of a leak in it. Oh, well, my kitchen will just smell that much nicer. In terms of the seasons you're going to get, this one is a fall-winter. That's not any issue here. It's not even a close call. This one is another one of those kind of potpourri-ish fragrances that some people just outright don't like them. If you're looking for like a really clean, crisp, out-of-shower, soapy vibe for the man in your life, this would not be one of those. This one is definitely more of the cuddling by the fireplace in the colder climates over the holidays. Definitely that more along the lines there. So this one's a fall winter, no doubt with that. Hotter climates, I do think it could be a little cloying, but something to watch out for. Now, when it comes to day and night, this one also is a nighttime fragrance. I would assume this one would be a romantic night in or romantic night out, and I wouldn't associate this one with the workplace. And then I typically make the joke that although I just did that, I didn't do that this time because I'm on break. So I'm enjoying wearing this around the house, and this one definitely is a nighttime fragrance. If you did wear this one to work, this one's another one you'd want to be careful with, because the longevity, projection, and sillage are outstanding, and so just keep that in mind at work. It does have kind of a burnt, by the fireplace feel to it. So people might think that maybe there's like a fire or something going on in your office if you wear it around a lot of people that are not used to fragrance. So that being said, you might ask yourself, okay, fine. What is the rating? You've been waiting with bated breath to hear it. This one for me is an easy one. It's a 4 out of 5. This one is 4 out of 5 sprays in my rating system, and it didn't fluctuate throughout the week. This one is a rock solid 4. It's just easy for me because of what I said. I really, really like this one. If you think that is a harsh rating, it's not, because a 4 and a 5 means I would both love to have in my collection. I would definitely like something like this. Did I absolutely love it and wear it? You can see I've got even a little bit left. No, it is quite good. It's a great fragrance. I mean, I don't know anyone who doesn't like it. Did it hit a home run for me, though? No. It's just very, 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 very good. And I took into consideration that, to me, the name should be called L'air du Mercade, or Marquette. I don't know how to say market in French, but Marocain. I feel like it should be a Moroccan market as opposed to a desert, and that's just me. But balanced with that is across the board, people always talk about how great and accommodating and how outgoing and friendly and caring Andy Tauer is. So total props to him and to all his success. This one is a 4 out of 5 for me. Again, I would have liked the medicinal element just toned down a little bit, that kind of soda pop, root beer. I'm not sure what note that is, but I would have liked that just a little bit toned down. And then, because after this settles down, after about the first hour, it really does get good. And then if you wanted to be really, really nitpicky, you could say the burnt element to it could be toned down also just a little tiny bit. So we're going to leave this at 4 out of 5 sprays for this 2005 Oriental Spicy. I'm going to go one on the neck and one on each wrist. Here we go. I definitely have enough juice. And all right, there you have it. Another review by the boards. Happy Thanksgiving to you. I wish you the best. Happy holidays to all. And let me know what you think. 4.39 currently is unheard of for a Fragrantica rating, practically unheard of. And so obviously most people would tip this over into the 5 out of 5 spray. Do you think this is a classic? Do you really like this one a lot? If you do you feel like this review was unfair in any way or that I missed the mark? Let me know, and I'm all ears. If not, let me know what your scent of the day is and or scent of the week. I always enjoy that, and especially even if you're watching this like months later, whatever fragrance you're wearing that day, I really enjoy going to Fragrantica and reading up on the fragrances that you guys are wearing when you watch the episode. Take care. Wish you the best, and always remember, my friends, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. So this one is, and it's frustrating me all week. As soon as I put this on, on Fragrantica, it has a list of fragrances that smell like this one or remind you of this one. And I went through the list and I didn't recognize any of them. I have reviewed, though, one that smells very similar to this, and it's driving me crazy because I cannot think of what it is. I really feel like it was probably an Amouage Opus collection, library collection, but I can't say for certain. But man, it really smells like something that I have reviewed before, and I've been picking my brain all week. I think it was an Amouage library collection, one of the Opus numbers, but I can't remember which one. Either way,